Hi, I'm Molly. Thank you so much for being here. I resonated with a lot of what you said, but I wanted you to speak a little bit more about the part of yourself that had to shape shift into spirituality, because clearly you came out on the other side in a very great space. So, just like in a tactical way, how did you find that spirituality? What practices, activities did you do to be that part of yourself?
It's a great question. The first thing is you have to completely hit your bottom. So if you're still holding on, that was my rock bottom, right? Or some semblance of which, because we're always going through that cycle. So the first thing is I just wasn't afraid to just go to the place where you can't figure it out, and you have to be able to say that. On a really practical level, I had a really, really strong spiritual practice. Every morning when I get up, I literally put an invisible power suit on. I taught my daughter how to do that too. I have an altar, I meditate, I do yoga, my tribe is tight, I keep like-minded people around me, I keep negative talk out, and it's a practice. I don't have it figured out. Sometimes I fall, sometimes I mess up, but I'm completely committed to waking up, practicing what that looks like all the time. And then when you say it out loud, other people are gonna hold you accountable too, right? So just kind of putting yourself out there and be willing to be vulnerable and to be ugly. This isn't the cute cry, this is the total ugly cry. Just ugly, just, the realness. I just had to get real and just really be willing to embrace the unknown. I had to embrace that darkness and just say, you know what? It's like that analogy when you're driving a car on a dark road and you only can see a few feet ahead of you, and you're just trusting that, knowing that as you continue to move, it unfolds, and it does. I also wrote a book about it. You can check that out too.
I am just a huge fan of Hack the Hood, and I would love for you to talk a little bit more about that to make sure everybody here knows about it.
I'm one of 3 co-founders of an Oakland-based nonprofit called Hack the Hood. We engage youth of color in technology. We have a variety of boot camps and programs that we put young people through. Our core offering right now is we pair young people one-to-one with a local small business in their neighborhood, mom and pop shops, coffee shops, cleaners, entrepreneurs, and we have young people build them a website free of cost. A lot of new folks are moving into the community, and the first thing they want to do when they come to a new city is they pick up their phones and they Google stuff, right? Unfortunately, a lot of those businesses that have really been the backbone of our communities are invisible. They're not online. And we really use that as an opportunity to get young people to recognize the fact that the tech industry is not a handful of companies that you can count on one hand, that there will be no career that young people won't move into where technology is not playing a critical piece in that. And so how can they really utilize technology to be their best superhero self? We are based in Oakland on International, but we're working in about 7 cities right now. We are in San Francisco, East Palo Alto, the Central Valley, San Jose, and you can find out more at hackthehood.org.
Hi, I'm Beth. I really love your combination of badass and softness. And it's something I'm looking for as well, because sometimes I come across as too tough, and I'm also looking for ways to have both, because I think you can. So I was wondering if you could speak on that.
It's powerful. Well, women are badass. And, I really go back to that analogy of water, because water, sometimes we think of it as gentle and it's just dripping down, but then when water can also come and can flood, it can pour down rain, it can storm, it could just, set it all off too. So I guess the question then really becomes, how can you be in your highest self for the situation, right? It's more based on the situation. There's a time when I have to pull that out and just let it be known and be tough. And there's another part when I don't, but I'm just as powerful. And I think that's the thing. A lot of us feel like if we're not trying to be this construction of masculinity, which has been crafted by white men, then we aren't being strong. And I think a lot of us don't even know what masculinity is because we can't think of it outside of the construction of how white men have defined it. So what is masculinity? What is femininity? Who said that women aren't strong when we're the backbone and we've always held it down since the beginning of time? So even the notion that there's anything less than that is a fallacy. So again, it's like, how can you activate the water within you based on the situation and the circumstances?
Hi, my name is Jamika. I loved everything about that. Thank you. My question is regarding you being able to see this future badass in yourself and how you became aware that you met that badass status. And do you still see future badasses of yourself?
Oh, much more badasses to come. Yes. And that's the thing about life is that's the evolution. There is no there. As soon as you get there, something else unfolds. So, we go through this cyclical process, right? Life is always a cycle. So once you're at one place, you just expand to another. So at this point, I think the good news is I see the other side. So now when stuff comes, it doesn't just debilitate me. Like people are like losing their minds off of Donald Trump. And I'm like, bring it. Bring it. Because I know who I am. I know what my ancestors did. I know we didn't come this far to be playing games. I know that this man don't have no power over me. Like, I so know that, but I wouldn't know that if I hadn't gone through that process, even though I'm on the verge of my next breakthrough, right? So just being able to harness those gifts from your life and use them to propel you into the future, because when you get to that dark place, like right now, you have to still be able to hold the light.
My name is Anthony. Thank you, Zakiya. I have a personal question for you. I'm a Black queer man in my late 20s. Terrified to become a dad. I still plan on doing it. So I'm just wondering, like, practically, how do you protect your daughter? What do you do to remind her that she's Black and beautiful and that she's going to make it? And how do you survive without thinking something's going to happen to my baby?
Really? Any other parents in the room? Yes. So we all hold that, right? Well, one of the quotes I like is that the greatest teachers teach by their very presence. They teach when they walk into a room. Their presence is a teaching. And our young people get that real quick, right? You can't come in to a young person and tell them one thing and you not live in any way like that. They're looking at you sideways. And our kids are really keen to that. So the first thing is I have to be the embodiment of what I say I am. Even though that means that I had to drop her off early at her grandma's today so I could be here. Even though it means I was late coming home last night because I was rehearsing so I could be here. So it doesn't mean that there's still not that difficulty, but I'm like, look, this is mommy's mission. Mommy's got to live her mission. And I'm hoping that, she's going to gravitate to that. And then also every single thing that I do, I nurture in her. So she has an altar. We do our yoga every morning together. She sits down and meditates. She has her superhero. She's the harmonizer, by the way. Very gentle spirit. And anyone that's a parent in the room knows that the greatest teacher you will ever have are your children, right? They come and just teach you so many things and just be difficult. And you're like, who are you? Oh, you're my child. Okay, I get it. Okay. So they're always forcing you to be better. I'm such a better person as a parent. I'm so much better. You will be better or not if you don't choose to have kids. But I think that I'm better because she challenges me to be better. She challenges me to be fearless because you have someone counting on you. So it just gives you this new sense of who you are. And the other thing is, you don't have to tell young people get how fucked up stuff is. Like, they get it better than us. Like, sometimes I have so much trauma and my need to, be Black. My mom's like, Mom, I got it. I'm Black. I know it. I just want to watch this Disney cartoon for entertainment. I know it has subliminal messages in it, and I feel you on the consciousness, but I just want to watch the show, okay? And I'm like, okay, honey, as long as you get it. So I'm always, so I think that they're so much more resilient than we are and that we give them credit for. And the reality is, even though we like to get together as older people, they're the ones who are inheriting all of this. The 14-year-olds are going to be the ones that are going to be eligible to vote in 4 years. So it's like, where are we putting our energy and our attention? And I've just, made my life, part of my mission is to just work in feeding young people that energy and that information, because they're going to carry it. And I'm actually extremely hopeful. When I see our young people, I'm like, y'all got it. And every movement was started by young people, right? Every revolution, it's always the youth. It's always the youth. And so we just have to hold our youth up and protect them. And just know that they're going to do this for us with our support.
Terry, product of East Oakland as well. I hear we're unicorns now. Anyway, I wanted to kind of touch on water again. I am horrified of water, open water, for reasons because it's so powerful. Another thing is that I love it because I have to take my shower in the morning. I find it cleansing. If you are able to distinguish when to use that power or just kind of be in that cleansing, because I think as you were touching on the rapid gentrification of Oakland, I find a lot of anger and fury in a lot of what is happening to Oakland and what I've seen, and grew up here and I have seen so many changes. How do you distinguish when to activate that power and when to just meditate and take the form of what is happening?
Well, you're always activating your power, always. So there's never a decision of now I need to activate, now I need to turn it off. You might be regenerating, which I feel like is kind of where you were going with that. Like comes back to the darkness, right? So there's this regeneration, that self-care practice. And it can be simple, in terms of the water. It's drinking more water. It's immersing yourself with water. And I really resonate with what you said about being afraid, because my daughter's afraid of water too. And I know that she has this really powerful connection with water, and that's the reason why she's so terrified of it, right? So people who are typically afraid of water are kind of have the ability to harness the most out of it. That's why you're terrified of it, because it has gifts for you. And so the more that you tap into those gifts, the more that you'll be able to activate your power. And yeah, it doesn't mean that it doesn't get difficult. Doesn't mean I don't look around in Oakland and get pissed. But I also know that I'm not smart enough to figure out what's coming up next. I don't care how many researchers, I don't bring all of your data. You cannot predict every single thing that's going to happen in the future. Like, remember we were in a drought? We're not in a drought no more, right? So again, if you get caught up, and that goes back to the program, we have to reprogram ourselves. Literally every moment, it's holding a new program for life, of love, of relationships, of business, reprogramming, because as soon as I walk out that door, pretty much everything's trying to hit me in opposition to that program, which is why I got to be a superhero when I walk outside.
Are you able to share any details about shape-shifting sessions you have? Oh, yeah. Or if our audience can learn more about that?
I wrote a book and kind of a lifestyle brand that brings all of this stuff together. It's called ShapeShift Your Life. You can check it out at shapeshiftyourlife.com. The A in Shapeshifter is an 8, so it's SH, the number 8, PESHIFT. And I do amazing workshops where we really kind of take a whole day to go into this. And I'm actually having one next Saturday, February 4th, in Oakland, California. And we do still have some slots left. We gather around with Tribe. We sit in circle. We go through this shift map activation that I have created. Savio had an opportunity to participate in one. And then we move through all of the chakras, starting with the root, and just kind of really activate to be our best selves. So you can check it out on social media. You can register. Tickets are on Eventbrite. And I'd love to see some of you.